anything yet. It's warm in here. It's
Look
very,
here.
very warm.
It's not too bad.
Let me do this. It's because we had the door open.
Well, I just shut it.
Hi, guys. It's Tuesday. It's 3 o'clock. Okay. So, you know what I saw on Twitter? Our Kelly Huff's channel got taken down for some bullshit reason. Now, if there was ever anyone that actually reviews, like hardcore reviews, that's all she's doing is her. Like, she's talking, I don't understand. But my only guess is it came up as a direct match or something. Either way, I was like, appeal it, girl. Okay. So, we were chasing chickens around. We love all of our chickens, but a couple of them are not quite as intelligent as the other ones are. Hey, Maxine. So thank you, Loretta. So Sean, it took him a minute to try to get them all in. They were peeping for each other, like, you know, chirping, but they couldn't seem to get on the same page to find the otdo ones.
Not so bright. Not so bright.
But I'm glad we made it here on time within the, what do you call it? The margin of error.
There is a margin of error that we all have to pay attention to.
I was listening to this. I listen to a lot of people who report on the Royals, like that do like little live streams about the Royals, mostly about Meghan and Harry, but sometimes they talk about other people. So this current one that I'm watching, her name is Meghan's Mole. And literally, I think her profile picture is Meghan Markle's beauty mark. But anyways, she was talking about Harry, and that Harry is going for the, like, is it like the opening ceremony of the Invictus Games over in England? And those of you who don't know, the Invictus Games are the same as our, I think it's called Warrior Games here, right? The veteran compete thing here. Isn't it called the Warrior Games?
Yeah, I had a hard time listening to that because...
And this lady, which she's sitting there talking about that they don't do any service to the people that they're trying to help because nobody knows where the money is going.
She said they need to join the para.
Yeah, they said at this point, I think it would be better if the veterans just joined the Para-Olympics instead of the
Special Olympics or something like
that. And I was like,
it was pretty bad.
Wow. And I was like, and I understand what she was saying. She said, I just don't see why they would even want to be a part of it because they have their and Sean can correct me if I'm wrong, their understanding of teamwork is different than any civilian would understand.
Yeah.
I mean, it's completely different. So when they're doing these physical strenuous games and things like that, their ability to work together is like unparalleled, and it's good for them. It satisfies that need to understand. And so I was like, the Paralympics wouldn't be the same. It just wouldn't. But I don't
think
know.
that she could have done herself some justice by maybe having a panel with a couple of veterans on it. Because Mandy said it's true. We're very good at teamwork on a different level because a lot of the times it's all we have is each other. We don't have anybody else a lot of the time.
Right.
You don't have a choice. You know, no other place can you take like a surfer from California, you know, a redneck from Georgia, a cowboy from Texas, a gangbanger from, the Bronx, and put them all together and say, you guys have to be a team, but the other side of it, a lot of veterans would also offer that when we retire, we get out, we're so used to having our work spoon-fed to us, our training spoon-fed to us. You know, if you tell us to do some shit, we'll go do it. But a lot of veterans have never had to go out and just try to find themselves, find a job, because they go in at a young age, a lot of them, and then they're in for 8-10 years, and then all of a sudden they're in their late 20s, and they get out, and they don't have anything to get up and go to. You got to have a plan. There's a lot of veterans that I know that are mad of how they were treated, since they've been out. But I asked them, how often do you apply for a job, or how often do you do this, or how often do you do that? And they're like, I'm owed. I shouldn't have to go do that.
I see.
The country owes me. And it's like, it doesn't work that way.
No.
That's not how shit works. She could have done a lot of justice for her own channel by having maybe a couple of veterans come on and give that
maybe
version.
She will.
And instead of, because she just really sounded not hateful, but she kind of sounded contempt, with a lot of
Yeah.
contempt.
Midwest Wicked said, "Hey kids, my daughter just re-enlisted this morning.
Nice.
Bragging on my baby today. That is freaking awesome. There was a salmonella warning in candy products. The notification came through. I hope it's not your gummy sharks you were eating."
I don't even know why I bought those.
Did you try them last night? The other day we were at Tractor Supply, and you know how they sell like some nostalgic candy and stuff? He grabs a bag of gummy sharks.
Gummy sharks.
And you also grabbed, what was the other thing you grabbed? Something else. And I was like, wow, you must be hungry. Hey, Kay. No, but I agree with you about her. And she was saying, and I don't understand. Okay, so she was saying the other day this is Megan's mole. And she was saying the other day she was at the grocery store and a seedless watermelon is $45. Has anyone seen a watermelon for $45 when they've gone shopping? I could be wrong. And then she said a box of diapers is like $75.
It's a good ass
I
watermelon.
don't understand.
It might be regionally where this person is, but
I was like, I've never ever seen a watermelon for $45. You might want to go somewhere else.
Now she was talking about diapers and Pampers. They're pretty expensive.
Yeah, they are.
They're with inflation, they will be up over $30 for a big pack of diapers now.
And when you have two in diapers, it's even worse.
Right.
Have you ever had two in diapers?
Mine were 3 years apart.
So probably.
So I'd have one in diapers, one would be out of diapers and another one would come along. And
they were all 3 years apart?
Yeah. So
okay.
94.
Hey, D.
94, 97, 2001. So 3, 3, 4.
It's good to see you, D. She's so good to us. All of you are. So that's a pretty decent age difference. You know what I mean?
It is.
Like 3 years I guess it's kind of average, but.
Well, some people have a plan. Like, we want to have a baby and this and that. That didn't happen. It was kind of like, we're having a baby.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it was like I was married 3 years before Megan was born.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess relatively speaking. How old were you
when I became a dad?
Yeah.
25.
Oh, I guess that's how old what's his name was too. But you were born earlier.
But y'all had them very early. Like you had both your children when you were in England.
But he was 25.
Right.
Or 20. Yeah, 25. Yeah, we had them both there.
Yeah, you're young.
I'm very young.
Yeah, you're like
not anymore though.
You're a youngster.
Well, I saw all kinds of things yesterday about 45-year-olds having babies. Holding Zeke right now, but it's good to see you, Very Hot. And Gigi, I saw you. I said, hey, I didn't know if you heard because we were talking, but yeah, I watch varied things. Hey, Melissa, what I don't watch are people talking shit about me.
Yeah, Mandy normally leaves that to me. I'll go do the research and, there's a couple of days. It's like, it's one thing when you say something to piss off, say owl. And she'll throw like owls over there in a members only chat with like 500 people in there was. And we're kind of used to that. When we rub somebody the wrong way, it's normally somebody that can talk about us. Because see, one of the first things you'll learn is that you're going to get more people that sub to you. If you're doing drama and that's what you do, you're going to get more people that sub up to you when you get talked about.
Right.
Rather than what you do on your channel. So anyway, yesterday, I guess there was a stream and they talked about our wedding.
Yeah.
They talked about our wedding.
Again, how long is our wedding?
I think the clip is like 2 minutes long.
Okay.
Anyway, Yaba was in we're talking about AK stream, hot Discord rejects. And see, when we say this, that's going to push them. They get like their 600 views. Me talking about them is going to push them up over 800, maybe get them to 1,000 views.
Maybe.
Which she doesn't. And this is the thing. I'm going to start with this because I started taking a look. I thought that AK's channel had like commanded a lot of attention.
That's what it was.
I didn't realize. I started looking through. She's got like only like 3 videos that have ever even got 1,000 views. I did not know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know she was that irrelevant,
But hey Moxie, she might get some more.
She's gonna get some more because for 2 reasons. Number one,
but why was Sam there?
We'll get to it.
Why is there sound on this?
So one of the things that happened was Yaba was in the chat talking about who puts their wedding on YouTube. And I'm thinking about that and I'm going, there's literally thousands of weddings that are on YouTube. I mean,
lot.
Really, there's like hundreds and there's thousands of, if you just type
There
in
might be millions.
wedding in your browser and you'll never run out of weddings to watch if you watched them for 5 days straight. So I don't understand why she would say that. But when you say stuff, every once in a while, you just piss up enough people where they go and they get one of your videos struck or they strike your channel. I love that for Yaba. Apparently someone went in there and said, we've had enough of you. You're sitting there tweeting. Yaba's tweeting things like, anybody that reviews my content, I'm going to strike. This girl literally makes her living reviewing other people's content. I don't get it.
If she has 2 strikes, which my understanding is she does, like Foodie Beauty or don't like Foodie Beauty, this is the time for her to go file some shit.
But how dumb is Yaba right now? She's slumming in a chat over there yesterday, talking out of her ass to the point where somebody else who was looking at this channel, AK's channel, that doesn't like them, and they're watching. They're watching Sam and Yaba slum over there, and they're like, we're going to get them.
Yeah.
That we're going to get them. And
it's, I think, and I like Melissa was saying, I'm not going to give someone my view when they're talking shit about me. That is the most fun thing, is when people are losing their shit about you and you're just doing whatever. Like, it just whatever. Because it's, if I every once in a while, like I was saying, I'll go search for my old names and I'll see all the stuff that comes up where they put ATX in it or whatever. And I'm like, wow, that's remarkable. Considering it, accusing me of like, that Lisa Simpson or whoever she is was like, I think we know that ATX is behind the fake receipts given to Gigi. The fuck? I don't know what you're talking about receipts, and I really don't know anything about Gigi. I know nothing about
the gaining ground. I think would be the first person to say, A, I don't really know Sean and Mandy, and B, I don't give a fuck about Sean and Mandy. Really, that's probably something that he would say.
Exactly. It's so weird. Yeah, I talked about that in the beginning. So Kelly Huff reviews the Beast, some of her more memorable moments. She has a contagious laugh that makes it Kelly's laugh. But I guess somehow she got her channel taken for that or whatever. Yeah, I think she'll get it back because I think it was falsely struck.
Probably.
But again, for those of you, I don't know if your creator studio, if you're not monetized, shows direct matches. But whenever you review other people, like on a regular basis, you always need to check that copyright match. I have several in there. Like I said the other day, I haven't struck anybody. I don't care. But that's where you can see if yours comes up as a direct match. You run it through a thing.
And if it
does, then they can strike it. And YouTube don't give a shit if you try to counterfile. If it comes up as a hit and you file, that's all.
I think for Yaba, I think people are finally at a point with her where they're like, just take several seats, we're done with you. And I say it all comes from her union with Babe. Hey, Babe.
Yeah, no,
when she said, hey, babe, our wedding was the bomb, babe.
No, I said our wedding was the best.
Oh, was it?
I'm like, poor Yaba. She wants Sam's attention. Like, please talk about our wedding. Please, let's talk about our wedding. And she's too busy talking about our wedding, which, and then, so the other screenshot, or actually someone told me, and I would imagine she said this, but I know that we grifted our wedding.
It was 2 minutes and 20-second video.
Our wedding video, the most our wedding cost was the 75 that we gave to Justice of the Peace.
Yep.
The 75 we gave to the Justice of the Peace, and the dress I ordered, which was from Express, and it was about $45. That was about what it cost.
But when you think of who is saying it, you're over there. You've got this channel that is reviewing and they're vilifying our wedding video that's got 3 times more views than anything that channel has ever done.
Right.
3 times. I'm gonna give them some advice on how to build a channel, because I already did the research before I realized that they're going to benefit. This video that they did yesterday may hit 1,000 views because of what I'm about to, me give them the attention. But if you are going to come after, let's say, Mandy and I, who we sit right here in front of all y'all, you see us cammed up every day. We don't put up anybody else's stuff. We don't review other people's content, right? We don't do any of that. We don't have panels. The number one thing you got to do if you're over in a channel and you want to be successful trying to drag people like us, AK, Alex, cam up. Cam up. People want to eventually, and they want to see who they're dealing with, who they're trying to support, who they're talking to. They want to see a face like they can see, they can see our face. So cam up. Do everyone a favor. Sit down like Mandy and I are. I know you're not together, but sit in front of your camera. Turn your camera on. And let us see what you're working with, because you have a lot to say about what other people are working with.
Yeah, I'd be curious to know. It's either or, because there was several pictures doxed that were supposedly, because Sam doxed Alex and her entire family, like all of them.
That's the other thing.
And Alex then presented me with pictures and said, "No, this is what I look like," and I'm like, whatever, girl. I don't care what you look like. It doesn't matter to me. But It was so bothersome to her.
How are you over there working with somebody that has doxed your entire family? Somebody that has doxed entire conversations that Tragic's had. And, I don't understand why you can be friends like that. Everybody realizes that happened. And I'm bringing up Tragic for one thing. And Tragic is the person and the content creator that makes y'all go. He's the one that's got a little bit of talent. Not much, but a little bit. And so when you're looking at this, the other thing that I noticed is that Sam put out a tweet that says, if you guys want to give to AK's legal...
And Tragic.
No, she didn't say and Tragic. It was AK that added Tragic.
Oh.
This is my point, is that Sam's like, if you guys feel like giving to AK's legal situation, and I don't even know exactly what it is. I think it's something that Hussey is doing. Tragic has nothing to do with that.
There's no suit against
There's no suit against Tragic. Nobody is suing Tragic. Tragic's over there supposedly trying to get healthy. Trying to.
Well, Sam won't let that happen.
Sam won't let that happen.
She's going to keep, every time he tries to say, this isn't good for me, I need to pull back, she's going to keep saying, no, you owe me, come. That's what she does. It doesn't matter how mentally ill or how, when she sees a weakness, mental illness included, when she sees a weakness, that's when she descends. Thank you, Dee.
Thank you, Dee. We appreciate you.
We really do. That's my point. Like, yeah, it's incredible to me. I'm like, she wants to say that she is this advocate for mental illness. And not only is she not, she's the antithesis of it.
She really is. That's a really good word.
She takes advantage of it.
Antithesis. That's the word of the day. Antithesis.
I was like, it's the right word, right? No, I'm just kidding.
It was really good.
But it is. And again, Yaba, you have been embroiled in these legal proceedings, both that y'all filed, that other people have filed against you. Did you have any of this going on prior to this relationship?
What's the road that leads back to that? Who is the common denominator in not only Yaba, not only her own, but now she's dragging in, I'm talking about Sam, dragging other people into her quagmire.
It's very, and again, I'm always saying this. This is what she does. She looks for weakness and she descends. But it's whatever.
But so AK reposts it and says, me and Tragic's legal things. Tragic isn't named. He's not named in it.
No.
As badly as you want to associate yourself with Tragic, you are known to be a creator on the same channel as him. That's it.
Right.
That's it. And, the attention that you guys are drawing now, I really thought, they're talking about us. Yeah, you can say I'm arrogant for that. But normally it's Owl's, railing on us like she has. Sometimes it's Randy. Sometimes it's Sam and Yaba. You know what I'm saying? These are people that have channels that draw it. And I like it. I like it because the people that don't like them, when, Sam puts 400 in a chat and rails on us, there's people that watch her and that don't like her, and they come to us. They come over and they start watching us. There are people that are slid in my DMs, though, from this latest stuff with AK that do not like them. And are
And
here to support us.
you're
You know?
that reminds me. You while you're raising money for other people's legal fees,
You better
might
start
want to
raising it for
start
your own.
saving your own.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Start saving it. And we've been saying it.
You
We've been
finally
saying
messed
it.
with the wrong one who's got.
And so what
Thank you, Moxie. That's
AK and
Moxie's
Alex
channel.
might want to do, that's Moxie?
That's her channel.
Her channel,
Y'all,
yep.
I hate the Rumble app, but I can watch it, but a lot of times I can't type. But I do type in there. If you see Mandy Marie 79, that's me. But
Moxie's on Rumble. Paula's on Rumble. Our friend Clara, DC Media Girl's on Rumble. Negs is on Rumble. There's people that are over on Rumble.
yes. Thank you, Very Hot. Yeah, I mean, and honestly, like yesterday, you said that Sam was posting this consider helping AK at what 10:30 at night, which means she was on during the day talking about our wedding. They reviewed it for the 50th time, and Yaba's in the chat going, "Babe, our wedding was the best, babe." And then later on, she's back talking about the same shit. Do you ever pay attention to your private life, Sam?
You have a wife. It's starting to look like...
It's starting to be, and I will post, I have the screenshot. I made a little thing. I'll post it later.
I mean, I think...
She wants your attention.
You say she's your wife. We're not sure about that. You had never proved any of that. I mean, we put our wedding... We showed you our wedding, our marriage license. But I think what Mandy is saying is it's starting to creep into social media where Yaba is asking Sam to pay attention to her. You know, wasn't that right, babe? Hump, babe? You know, they're in this chat. And I'm telling you, this is stuff that people are noticing. I didn't watch AK and Alex's chat. I didn't watch it. You didn't watch it, did you?
No,
we don't watch them.
Hey,
But
Gigi.
some of y'all that support us, we're over there watching it and filling us in. And so I started, doing a little bit of research, and I was like, they're gonna benefit from what we're talking about more than they'll benefit from them talking about us.
And she's suing everyone.
Yeah. She's
suing everyone.
She's coming for everybody. They're raising money for her legal team or for her legal assistance. She can't even pay for her own problems, but she's suing everyone.
She's suing everyone. Everything is slander, and she's suing everyone. Everyone. I'm looking at y'all's chat, though. I love that our chat just can carry on a conversation about whatever, and we can be talking about anything else. The other consideration is, so Yaba has posted, and I don't know if anyone saw it or not. She's posted that she is striking anyone and everyone that has posted her content.
And if you go to the Twitter that reposted that and read the thread, the people are like, but don't you literally make your living by reviewing other people?
Because so you got Yaba's content is foodie beauty, and who else? Other misfortunate people that have weight or emotional problems that she can review. That's what Yaba does. But won't turn on her camera so we can see which, and the fat on fat crime only goes so far because you literally will not show anyone what you look like. Well, put a hoodie on.
Mandy put a picture of us at the event that we went to over the weekend.
If I was,
it was a full length picture.
If I had any sort of issue with how I or Sean looked in our wedding video, I wouldn't have put the son of a bitch up.
That's the most ironic thing about it. It's a 2 minute, 20-second video of a little ceremony that we had in Texas on the back porch of Mandy's parents' house. And they're railing on it
for the 10th, but literally maybe not 50 times, but at least 4 or 5 times.
What's that?
She's talked about our wedding video.
She talks about it all the time. But there's a channel that Sam has put in her pocket that are sitting there with very little support sub-wise and they're showing a 2-minute video about us making fun of the way we look, or Mandy look. I'm guessing. I don't know exactly what they said, but what Mandy looks like, what we look like, what's going on in there behind, they won't cam up themselves.
So it was
they're talking about a video that's got 3 times the attention that they've ever done, that they've ever had view-wise. It's just so funny.
So it's either ratchet low budget wedding or we grifted for it. You can't make up your mind which one it was.
We don't even know what they look like.
No, but I mean when they said their whole wedding was literally grifted. What? I think sometimes they confuse the pictures from when your daughter got married, because I was a huge part of it. They confused those pictures with like a wedding, because there was a picture of us on either side of the wedding cake, but it was just because I'm the one that passed out the cake. We bought the cake. That was the only reason we were buying. I think they think that might have been like a second wedding.
It's just very weird that they would say anything at all about anybody.
Right.
When, they won't even show their faces.
It's odd.
I mean, they will talk about Clara and Negs, and they'll put pictures of them up there, and they'll mess with the pictures and stuff like that. But they themselves would be, I think, demoralized if anyone ever saw what they really look like. We know that Alex gets highly upset. I mean, she's like, "It's not me. That's not me. That's not what I look like. Cam up for us."
And and nobody cares what you look like.
But if you want to put that to rest, Alex, the next time you go live, just turn your camera on for about 10 seconds and say, "Look, guys, this is what I look like," and then go on your merry way. AK, you do it too. Tragic Cam's up.
I just saw the picture of Sawyer at the nursery coop. Right? He was watching his babies. They were moving into the baby coop, and Sawyer was making sure they're okay. It was on our community page, you guys. Sean, you were supposed to make the announcement today about the member stream.
Oh, yeah.
Because
the
I
member
always
stream
say
will be released tonight.
It's good to see you.
It's coming tonight, or today, correct?
Right. There's another one coming out. There's another one coming out from someone that I know. She's actually right here. You guys, you can't scare her off. We've already talked about the low, slimy part of YouTube. Erin makes videos. I did a video that I'm editing that she's in talking about her channel. Sub her up. And again, y'all don't fuck with her. She's not, she knows all about it. She gives the funniest advice. She is a parent. Just catch up. And I'm going to put the promo video out later. We recorded it yesterday. I'm editing it. And it was funny. We sat down for a minute afterwards and we're like, okay, we're going to put it out there. And she's like, okay. And Sean goes, but some people don't like us.
Well, what happened was they did the video. So you guys, but I think you guys did the camera. It's our backdrop, but I don't, they don't have obviously the.
It'll be up on actually I'm gonna put on both channels. But.
Okay. And so I'm sitting over there in the chair while they do this video, and I was like, so now that we're gonna put your video out there and tell.
I said the people that support us
are you ready for this?
Like
but I have a feeling that she's been lurking for a while and she gets it.
She's the coolest chick, y'all. Yeah. She's super cool. But that's her. That's not the channel. But you will see the channel when I put the video out. It'll be in the description. I mean, I could put it in here, but it'll give y'all something to wait for. She's super cool.
Yeah, she had to sign a couple of forms to say that if you get drugged for filth, that's not our fault.
And you said, do you watch our content? And she goes, oh, yeah. And I was like, okay, just so you know. But yeah, super cool. I'm glad you're here. Welcome. So she said, didn't say she didn't get it, but she was like, it's like a TV show, except for the assholes that go real life. It's just kind of like watching people talk about each other, which really most people keep it to the good fun that's been around for a while. But people get addicted to it.
They do.
They get addicted to it.
It really is how far you let yourself go down the rabbit hole. Like, obviously I have a little bit more time now than I've had in the last 3 years. And, we're not afraid to say or defend or stick up for ourselves. I've said it for the 4th time. I've given Hot Discord Rejects way too much credit. I thought they had a channel that had people that actually watched it. And then, they're going to get some views. I thought they would get more views for having Sam and Yaba on there.
Yeah.
Because when they came for us and railed on us for 6 months, we gained like 700 or 800 subs right off of that over that 6 months. But I don't think anybody's impressed at all with the people that Sam grabs and puts in pocket, because it's lower and lower and lower hanging fruit every time.
It really is. Have a good day, Moxie. But speaking of that, because when she said who puts their wedding on YouTube, let me tell you what I like to watch. Sean knows.
Yeah.
I love watching gay and lesbian weddings. They have some of the most touching, beautiful weddings on YouTube.
And they're accepted. You know, we've come such a long way, and it is,
Yep.
you know, they can do whatever
Right.
they want, and they put it on blast. And that's why it's so surprising that Yaba would have that such of a short-sighted
Exactly.
comment that she did.
Exactly. And they're all sizes on these things. And
all cultures, all
everyone,
nationalities, all ethnic. Just you guys, just whatever you want. You know, just type wedding right into your
but they actually put it right in their title. It'll say lesbian wedding, gay wedding, whatever.
But there's literally thousands of weddings. Yeah, but what the fuck are you talking about?
It's very, very strange. I don't know. Like I said, I wouldn't have put that wedding video up if I cared. I would have cropped it all the way to here if I cared. Y'all know me. I don't care. I don't care. The only thing that I care about is that I feel good, that I feel healthy, and that Sean likes it. And even if he didn't, he would be in for a shit show because, but he does. He likes curves. Remember when I was like, you like fat girls? And you're like, don't say that. And I was like, you do.
I don't use
you're like,
the
I
term
love
fat.
this and that. And I was like, oh, you just like fat girls. And he goes, and to be fair, I don't really call anybody fat. I say that's a big girl. You can take it however you want.
I'm actually offended that you use the word fat right now.
I know.
We're not fat shaming around here.
No. And it's true, though. You're right. Don't even fat shame yourself. I agree.
The days are
I don't like it when girls go, I'm
coming
fat.
it's coming to a,
Yes.
you know, like what is the right word? Like dusk. It is a twilight of channels, the time where you can do the type of channels that we do.
Yeah.
It used to be 8 years ago, 9 years ago that people were already doing this type of drama community stuff that we all jumped into and we formed the drama community. And we could all build channels and put 3, 4, 5,000. Some of these people who don't have lives, you know, like Sam, like Randy, they're still cracking away 10 years later and they've got their 9,000 subs. But those days are coming to an end. And it's like when we talk about Yaba. Yaba had a pretty good channel. She got to like, what, 30,000 views or 30,000 subs?
Oh, more than that, I think.
And then she made a horrible business deal. But, you know, really when I think about it, I get it. I get it when you're lonely or you're on the rebound and a complete psychopath comes into your life, but they hand delivered themselves straight to your doorstep. I mean, that's sort of a faux type of romantic thing to have had happen when you haven't had any contact with another human being in a while, you know, romantically, and someone shows up at your door. But it's Sam. So right there, you know, but I get it. It's clear that Yaba has thrown caution to the wind to be with Sam. Sam's ignoring her and you know, tweeting and writing stuff all night long while Yaba's like, hey, babe, I'm over here, babe. But the thing that I've said before, and I'll say it again, is that this type of live streaming, while it's fun, while you can make a little bit of coin at it, you know, it's not going to pay your bills. And there's no 401k. There is no retirement. There is no health insurance. And as it comes to an end, you see some of these channels that are selling off all their mansions and all their cars, these few channels that have had millions of subs.
Yeah. A lot of them are.
For us, we have each other. We have each other. And when I talk about somebody or they talk about me or they talk about this channel, that's really what keeps the drama part of it alive.
Come here, Slayron.
That's why I say when we are doing our chickens and we're talking about, and we have a much smaller crowd than a lot of these drama channels, we are fine with it because you guys are authentic people that want to see real stuff. You don't want to see the drama.
No. I mean, and I was saying earlier, Sawyer's on. I'm going to take a picture of him again. I'm sorry. I take lots of pictures of Sawyer Brown. He's sitting right here again, staring. He's so cute. I feel like, and maybe, you know, we've made our mistakes before about things that we have said, but I like to think that we're not quite as nasty in the way that we talk as some people are. Because really, even if you love the drama, you guys have got to admit when someone's just saying horrible, nasty things about people, does it not make you feel like you need to take a shower? Do you know what I mean? Like when, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just, but when you're listening to someone, even if it's someone that you don't like, and someone is just saying the nastiest, low down thing that there is, I don't think that most people like there's no one on YouTube that I like to hear some of those nasty names about. Well,
There-
not like, but you know what I mean? You would never, you can laugh at it, but it's not,
We
I just
haven't
feel like
had,
we don't.
but we haven't had anything in the drama,
Right.
the drama genre community. A lot of people
Barry.
that were around here have gone on and found other drama communities, and they'll
Yeah.
come back and say, "Oh, we got this drama community." And when you look in at those drama communities, they're like our drama community 2018 or 2017. They're railing on each other and they're not striking each other yet.
Yes,
and they're
dude.
not suing each other yet. They're going to get there. We haven't had anything.
here.
We haven't had a new precedent set in the drama community here in a long time. But I think Sam might be smack dab in the middle of something that's going to get everybody's attention. That might be
I
to
see what you're
put
saying.
everybody's eyes back on the drama community. Everything that she stands for, everything that she does, everything that she encourages people to do when she uses them is about to come full circle. Just remember that every time we bring it up.
Yeah.
You know, just remember that. And when it happens and who's involved in it,
We're going to cover it.
yeah, we're going to cover it. We're going to be famous. But
No,
when it
but I
happens,
mean, we will.
yeah, we'll be here.
It's going to cost you a dime or two for sure.
We're talking about Sam.
Yeah. It's going to cost you a little bit of money,
Yeah.
but
She's running into a party that is decided that for Sam, it's going to have to be all in and then some for her to
you're
actually
going to have
keep
to
up.
sell a lot of those tumblers with the names on it that
Yep.
nobody gives a shit about, you know? Maybe come up with a different list. You know
Something
what I mean?
like that. But it just hang out a couple more months and we'll be talking about it.
Yeah.
And I think we'll have permission to talk about it.
Yeah. It's like Barry Hart was like, I love birds. I'm here for the chicken content. Did you hear earlier when the cockatiels were singing? I typed it in there because we were kind of on a roll. Someone said that sounds like a horny cockatiel. Is that when the male is trying to woo the female, he starts singing like that? Because
We don't know.
I've seen them, I've seen the male on the female before. That's why we gave them a nesting box that they laugh at. They just pull the stuff off the outside. Okay, yeah. So he's singing to her, trying to get her to submit. Hey, Hannah Nicole, trying to get her to submit or whatever.
I don't know. I mean, I know that like if we're not up, like I used to be up out of bed every morning early, and I don't have to do that anymore. But at some point, they just start going, and it's just it's like it's
constant.
almost like an alarm is going off.
Mating call. Okay, okay. Well, she needs to lay some eggs in that box, and so we can hand feed the babies, and then they're tame. I'm just kidding. But I went to ask that earlier. I was waiting until there was like a break or whatever. But if Karen's still in here today, for those of you who don't know, we'll get back to the other. That's what the Uggo and Tiny, the roosters, they had a meeting of the minds the other day. You know what I mean? Like they had it out and it was cool. Barry Hot was right there to say they're gonna fight. It's just a matter of how bad and what you. Okay, so they had it out. They've not. Uggo hasn't messed with Tiny again, but today Tiny was across the street with his hens. So Uggo had a couple that were just walking with him by chance. Okay. So he gets there and Tiny turns around and Uggo's like, so he starts trotting away like quickly and he's got hens following him. And he's like,
no,
don't follow me. Don't follow me.
Go back over there with Tiny. He just whooped my ass the other day. So
anyway, it's cute because Tiny literally went after they had it out and he sent Uggo running. He went right back to eating. He went right back to what he was doing. Like no big deal. He was like, anyways, where were we talking about?
We were, and I'm not going to say how we did it because the boys were fighting we had to get them to stop fighting. So to make a long story short, I had to trick one of the roosters into not messing with the other rooster.
Right.
And it worked. It
Right.
worked. Well, I'm not going to say it here because people will be like,
It wasn't like vicious or
No.
whatever, but it was actually, it's not even a thing. You like tried to get him off with a broom.
Yeah.
And so
I'm telling you, when they're
the
fighting,
bristles
they don't
of the
care.
broom or whatever, when he went like this, Uggo didn't know what it was. He must have thought that Tiny had
thought
some
that-
maneuver he didn't know
Yeah,
about.
like Tiny used the
Because
force
when he
on
took
him
the
or
broom,
something.
when he took it like that, Uggo's like, woo! And he starts running
Running
and
off down
Tiny's
the
running
street.
him all the way down.
Yeah.
And so he thinks that Tiny's got this maneuver that he doesn't
Which
know
is
how-
good because
Yeah.
when they establish the pecking order, Tiny is the alpha. We want him to be the alpha.
Right.
And, as he gets older, the other roosters will try. It's like anything in wildlife. a male will try to establish itself, as the dominant one. And that normally spells the end or isolation from
Okay.
the old alpha. And we're not gonna let that happen because
No.
Tiny's like our first, like he's our guy.
And other than none of our roosters protect them from predators, he's a good rooster. He's
Yep.
definitely a lover. You know what I mean? Spray them with the hose
Yeah.
and they stop. Okay. That was the next.
So we got a lot of people that know a little bit about
They
this
do.
stuff.
There's people now that are starting to say, tell Sean today, because we're in the country, our other buddy that we give chickens to, his sheep got out.
I should
Was
tell
it
that
his sheep
story.
or his lambs?
No, it was three. Well, a baby sheep is a lamb.
But I
The
mean,
baby.
oh.
So what
gotcha.
happens is
I mean, I
is
knew that, but I didn't know. if
Mandy
it was-
gets up before me and she goes out to the store to get the stuff that we need for the day to clean up and all that. My doorbell goes off. And this is what can I ring the doorbell for everybody?
If you want, yeah. Is
Take
it
me out to the ball game.
Oh, so she rang the doorbell?
So I'm lying in bed and I hear this, and Sawyer's gonna go nuts when
I don't know if I don't think he knows what the sound is.
Oh, he went nuts.
Oh, did he?
This is our doorbell.
But now you'll know what it sounds like. Look, Sawyer's like. Oh, it only does one line like that?
Yes, take
Okay.
me out to the ball game. So
Sean's asleep.
I'm in bed. I hear that. I hear the doorbell. And of course I jump up and the first thing I think is Mandy's locked herself out of the house. And I go out and I look in the driveway. Mandy's car isn't even here. Then I'm fearing the worst because who's knocking on my door? My wife's out in the car.
Yeah.
I have that kind of fear. So I answer the door and it's our neighbor, one of our neighbors down the street. And she tells me, my other neighbor, he's like, his sheep got out. And I'm like, okay. And the only reason I know this lady that came to my door is because she came into the post office a lot. So she knew my name and she knew where I lived. So I get dressed and my day starts by rustling up 3 sheep that are running around the neighborhood and getting them put into the pen where they belong.
Took him a while.
Yeah, it was great.
For those of you who don't know, I used to be a turtle latte fan from Dunkin' Donuts. Now I like the frosted donut latte from Dunkin' Donuts. You should try it. But I came back and I knew he had been asleep, so I see him walking. He's got all dressed. He's got his key. Then he tells
But
me
I'm
what
barely
happened.
awake,
He goes, I've only been awake for like 7 seconds. And I was like, oh, but he went and rounded him up. Can you pick them up or are they too heavy?
Well, you can, but
That's why I meant were they lambs or
so
sheep?
what we
Like,
had
could
to
you pick them
do,
up?
somebody got the owner on the phone and he led us
Yes.
to where their food is.
Oh,
And if you get you get a cup full of food and you shake it and then they follow you all the way back into the pen.
okay.
So.
That's very cool. Melissa, that's where my name was Wandering Goat. My goats would get out and graze all over town. I would have to go home and feed, bucket, and walk goats. Yes. Nothing like getting called at work and your goats are grazing on the courthouse lawn. That is like super Norman Rockwell sounding.
Especially the courthouse lawn.
Yeah, yeah. That was
When you live up in the North Georgia hills, that's what we do. But the other thing is
and they got chickens too. That's the point.
everybody's like there's 3 or 4 other neighbors that have got chickens, and it's our street. If someone's having a problem on our street, they come get the other people on the street and we help them.
Yeah.
And that's why we love our neighborhood.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really it's proof that it doesn't matter, what walk of life, which economic situation, nothing. That you can have
We're old school people
all
that
different.
don't like HOAs. We all agree. Homeowners associations, screw that.
have a good night.
We'll be our own HOA on our street and we'll just be friends and there's no fees, there's nothing to maintain. We just be friends.
So we could paint our house purple if we
That's
really
right.
wanted to.
Yep.
Yeah, Melissa, that's kind of funny though. Can you imagine? I can't imagine like a town small enough where your goats make their way to the courthouse lawn. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's super cool.
Yep.
Sean likes goats. I
don't really like the sheep that much though. Sheep they're a different kind of noisy.
and their manure smells really bad, right?
Yeah. That's when there's a smell in the neighborhood
It's
and
usually-
we were worried is this our chicken coop? But it's definitely not our chicken coop.
And you said there's a school bus in the backyard.
So when you go back behind
Like
our neighbor's home, like back behind our house, it's woods. Like you have maybe 10 feet and it goes straight to the woods. I had never been in those neighbors' backyards. There never was any reason for me to have to go back there. But I went back there, and they have like a whole acre back there, and there's a school bus sitting right in the middle of it.
That's cool.
I
I wonder
just-
if that would be a good thing for chickens to be able to go into.
Yep.
That would be a lot of fun. I like that. Never fear, guys.
Very hot. So like my HOA is like the Gestapo.
Yeah,
Gestapo.
we've known a few relatives that their HOA is ridiculously strict. And I get it. It's about home fees and things like that. One time someone stopped by, we hadn't been here very long. I think I was washing my car actually, and stopped, and they had this thing and they wanted me to sign a petition to stop this new animal shelter from coming in down the street. Like, she was like, the dogs are going to be barking. It's going to, we want everyone to come to this meeting and vote against it and sign this petition. And it's going to bring home values down. And it's just, and I went, we live in a trailer park. And it really isn't a trailer park. It's not. But I'm like,
I remember you said,
I go,
they can put that shelter right in my backyard.
I was like, they can put it right in my front yard. You've got the wrong people if you think we give a shit about a animal shelter coming in or whatever. Yep. Lumpkin County's going no kill.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's
it's
real
going
good.
no kill. But anyway, it was so funny because she said our home values, no one will ever be able to sell their houses. And I was like,
we're manufactured.
It's literally a trailer park, you guys.
Mm-hmm. But
it's got its own struggles without,
Yep.
But anyways, it was really, really funny. Plus I've always wanted I want miniature goats. You know what I mean? Isn't that what you have, Melissa? Aren't they miniature goats? They are, right? I think Melissa's
is that what
goats
Jacob's sheep is? Multiple horns.
I don't know.
Sheep. See, we don't know anything about this, but I'm going to look it up. I'm going to screenshot that.
You guys know that it's a little. Did you ever finish the thing? Did you let everyone know that the members only stream will be out later?
I did.
Okay.
There's going to be two things that are going to be out later. One is the members only stream, and one is our friend Erin's little vlog that she did with.
So never fear, Sam. I'll give you some more content.
Right.
You can watch
Since
us.
Sam is a member, we have a special.
Yeah, I was gonna do love letters to Sam and put her, and then I was like, I don't give a shit.
She loves that attention.
She would be constantly.
I mean, we're at the point
when we were about to go live today at 2:55. I was like, what's going? Sam's going. Yaba's going. You want to go out to lunch with me? No, Mandy and Sean are going live.
Yeah, they're about to go live.
What the hell's wrong with you?
I've got to make fun of their wedding, but I just want to connect with you. No, I can't do that.
When they come on, that's what I do.
That's what I do. I watch it, I download it, I record it, and then I get some smaller YouTube channels I'll act like that I care about them, and I'll have them rail on Sean and Mandy. And all the people that hate me will start to hating on them, and then I'll be done with them.
And the fact is, without going completely back to it, when you look at how this progression has gone in her relationship, it reminds me because, I have talked to people, I talked to someone who knew for a very long time. Sam destroys anything good in her life. Mm-hmm. She's a lot like TT in that sense. Mm-hmm. Anything that good that comes into her life, she destroys it. It's almost like that's what she wants to do.
Yeah.
She wants to just completely implode and lose whatever she has gotten.
I knew that Sam had a lot of people that didn't like her. But once
Missy.
Sam went, started her shit with AK and them over there, the people that don't like Sam and the people that don't like them are now sort of, I won't say they're coming out of the woodwork because it's not a bunch of them, but there's 3 or 4 people that are now, kind of chatting with us about certain things, and there's a lot of people out there that don't like them.
Well, they've been seen now for what they are.
Yeah.
When I think the first clue where we saw that Yaba is not completely she used to keep herself away from the mess was when she started announcing the breakups. That was the first okay, well maybe there was a long time, and Sean knows that when they got together, I thought okay, if they've truly found love, Sam's not going to do this nasty bullshit. She'll let
We thought that.
she'll let Yaba do what Yaba does with her reviewing or whatever. Sam will do what Sam does, maybe get a job, but no. And
The way things are
it
going,
can
Yaba's
turn
gonna
her
have to get a
around to
job.
where she's not so fixated on us. But it didn't.
It doesn't.
It didn't for any length of time. It didn't. It's very, very strange to me. I don't understand it, but
Matter of fact, Mandy, how many of you guys know that Yaba and Sam, like Yaba announced their breakup twice, right?
Twice within
So
5
Yaba's
months.
got the nerve to say, imagine putting their wedding on YouTube, where there's literally millions of thousands of weddings on YouTube. But imagine announcing the breakup of your girlfriend on Twitter twice in a drama community where a whole gang of people don't like you.
And what it's really clear is that it wasn't just a knee-jerk reaction. She was trying to put something out there to
She was
make her
testing the
follow
waters.
through. She wanted to make sure it would make her follow through. Do you know what I mean? Like, she would put it out there and then it would give her like, okay, I can't just, and then within, a few hours, it was whatever.
It might have been a troll comment. I don't think so, but it's pretty apparent when you see tweets like that. Both of these people in the relationship had a YouTube presence before they were together, that there's a little bit of a who's zooming who. Like, Yaba's out there trying to see who's going to roll with her, and Sam is like, who's going to be with me when they break up. And they try to see who slides into whose mentions about, oh, I'm sorry. Who gets, and that's what it looked like to me.
Yeah.
I think it's really important to them they gauge what they do in life based on what the people online that watch them, how they're going to react. And for Yaba, I kind of get that. There might be a whole personal life that we don't know. I doubt it. Because she is pretty clear that this is how she pays the bills.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sam doesn't care how she pays the bills, but she'll definitely slum with Yaba if Yaba's paying the bills. But when you have a situation like that, you have to figure out what the YouTube world thinks of the stuff you do.
Right.
Eventually.
Well, it just was a matter of time until they realized she wasn't about anything. Like, her big stances that she took and her big advocacy that she pretended to stand behind was all just smoke and mirrors. If a dude came along that had a better situation to offer than what she's in now, she'd be gone.
And she'd do that. She would actively
pop smoke and be gone.
Right. And it would be a bad life for Yaba. I mean,
because she'd still fuck with her.
You see how
look how she fucks with me.
Yeah, look how she's fixated on
when y'all
finally, on Mandy.
It's gonna be a lifelong thing. Look at old crazy over there that is still. I thought she went and got herself a whole ass life over the last 10 days or whatever. Nope, same shit. Taking her clothes off, talking about us.
It's literally it's literally like a drug that you withdraw and they withdraw and then and it's not like they try to come back a different way. They just come back doing the same shit.
I really thought for a second that the beast would not come back, like she would be. And then I'm like, they're like, she's on talking about y'all.
And not just
she's taking her clothes
talking
off.
about us, stripping down, all the stuff she did right before she left.
Yeah.
Apparently. I wake up and I get the, oh my God, Sean, she's talking about, or whatever. But, yeah. So if you guys see how much Sam fucks with and stalks Mandy, you guys, and now a lot of other people are seeing it. And I got to say, I'm not here nor there with Kiwi Farms, but I do appreciate the fact that they're watching everything that Sam does as far as fucking with Mandy and puts it on blast. It's good to know that there's another entity out there that's bigger than she and I, much bigger than she and I, that has figured this out and is saying, no, Sam, you're the fucking crazy one. You're the one that's stalking ATX.
She decided to have a live stream and she tried to dox the people on Kiwi Farms. Who does that?
Yeah,
who does that?
I mean, it's whatever. Kiwi Farms is here.
They've been around for a long time.
What did Sam think was going to come of it when you try to just put their information out? That they were just going to let it go?
Yeah.
That's not what they do.
Yeah. It's a strange, and it's I've come to the conclusion as much as I would like it to, she's gonna stay fixated on me. So as long
Yep.
as you keep reviewing me, I want to just give you something to talk about. You need to quit destroying your life. The woman that you have might very well have been a very good part. You're destroying it with your own bad decisions, with your fear of abandonment, all of the shit that you struggle with. You're destroying it.
I mean, and to AK and Alex, just take a look at what is being said on Twitter about Sam tweeted about helping you with your legal fees, or whatever it is. Just look at the comments. They're not like super supportive. They're things like Sam's people won't give. Sam probably won't give anything. You know, it's a known thing that the people that are in Sam's circle, they don't go and support the people that Sam support. And it's not like all of a sudden when you're dealing with Sam that you're going to throw the same number of people in the chat that Sam does. Matter of fact, you're going to lose supporters and gain haters. I mean, I haven't seen a noticeable change in there, but I guess if you're that small of a channel and someone like that comes along, maybe it's what if you can't beat them, join them or something like that.
No, what it's about is Sam didn't want to soil her channel, bringing AK to her channel,
right,
and putting her on panel on her channel,
right.
So she went to her channel because she knows that there's not a lot of people watching.
But Sam is going to watch this, so AK, we just did you a solid. You may end up on panel with Sam. Now, soon.
They were on panel with Sam yesterday. AK and I think Sam was
Sam's
on
panel?
No. Oh, no.
I'm saying now you're going to get invited over to. You're welcome.
To prove a point. Yeah.
You're welcome.
That is true.
You're
right
you're
about
welcome.
that.
You know, we're going to give you a little bit of relevancy.
Well, she got challenged. There were people saying that Sam would never have a fundraiser to raise money for AK's legal fees. So of course the first thing that she's going to do is go and do it.
It's like when we were trolling Randy, and I said, have a poll, and I did it. And so Randy got all her people together and had a poll, and still 10% of her people said she was wrong. It was just such a stupid thing. She goes, okay, Sean, I'll have a poll. And she got all of her people together, and they voted on something. And even 10% of her own people were like,
you're wrong.
Sided with me. It is so, that's another one. We just put them on the shelf for now. They'll pop their heads out and fuck with the wrong ones, or, you know, we just feel some kind of way.
Half the time though, when we mention it, people are like, I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, I know. Randy's a funny one.
I don't know if I think that like Melissa is OG. I don't know where do you hang out now, Melissa? You're a loner, aren't you? You pop in here. There's a few people that have come through that I'm like, where are you hanging out now? Because you don't see them very often. I was wondering the other day, do you remember Dimitri Stein? The OGs that are watching, do you remember Dimitri? He was around for about the first year and a half, I think, when our community formed. And he would film in his little, like, Florida, I guess you would call it a trailer park. But it's like, it was like the ones in Florida that, you know, the retirees, they have, like, you know, really cool canopies. They have their little, it's almost like a retirement.
It's a whole community. Like, remember Myrtle Manor? Remember the show Myrtle Manor? You guys remember Myrtle Manor with the retirement, like, trailer park in Myrtle Beach? Y'all remember that show? There's a lot of that in Florida. There's a lot of that in the Panhandle. And it's really retirees that, you know, they don't have a lot of money. So they move to a certain community, little like condo community or trailer community by the beach.
Which is cute. It's cute. They get their little, it's like a retirement community that people can afford. Right.
Where I lived, the condo that I had on the beach, y'all that remember when I had my condo, my rent to live oceanfront, and this is with all the utilities, I paid like $1,100 a month.
That's crazy.
For 700 or 800 square feet, oceanfront.
Very small, but still.
And, you know, but my electric was included. Everything was included. There was 2 bathrooms.
How did they fit 2 bathrooms in 800 square feet?
There was a little.
3 bedrooms?
There was a little. No, it was only 2.
Oh, okay.
So you remember where she used to stream in that big bathroom, that kind of the.
Oh yeah.
That was Becca's bathroom. That was all the way down on the other side.
Was it a good size?
It was pretty good. Well,
wasn't even her own bathroom?
The little master bath, it was kind of opposite of what we have here. Our bathroom was like this one that we have here, and Becca's was like that one.
Oh, I see.
That's the one that had
Lady
all that.
Guinevere.
And it's because you're living at the beach. So the master bedroom opened up onto the ocean, but there was just a little small full bath there. So you have like kind of it's almost like a firewall, and it blocks the, the ocean and all that, all the way down to the front of the condo where the other bedroom was, and it had a main bath. And it was kind of nice because I always want to hear the sound of the ocean, always. But sometimes people don't. But I remember so one side of the condo, you'd open it up and you'd hear all the beach and the wind, and you might could hear people talk. There was like a kind of like an echo chamber that went through, so you could hear everybody talking. But if you went to the front of the condo, it was just like the front of any apartment complex.
Hey,
That's where
Sandy.
everybody was hanging out and doing whatever. But I say all this because there were 75 units in that condo complex, but there was only about 10 of us that were there year round. I was the youngest one.
I bet.
That lived there. The rest of them were like older retired people that wanted the beach, but they don't have a ton of money, so they just have a condo. The guy wanted to sell me that condo for about $190,000. It's worth way more post-COVID.
Yeah.
But so it would have been a small mortgage, but for a small place. You have a small living area, but you have the beach.
But you can turn it into a vacation rental.
Yeah, and that's basically what my landlord had. And he just decided as he got older, instead of doing vacation rentals, and he had about 5 or 6 of them in the area, he was just going to do long-term leases with an option to buy on each one.
Oh, that's cool.
And that's what I had.
Yeah, we would have turned it into a rental for sure. It's a good idea. You know what I mean?
A little bit of a dream of mine to do that with you.
Yeah.
It really is.
We stayed at a hotel in Galveston that was like round. Was it the Commodore or whatever? Or it used to be the Commodore. And it was...
I think that's what it was called.
Yeah, and it was...
I wanted to say the
built
Troubadour,
with cinder blocks, obviously, because that is the best thing you can build them with.
Sandy Crotch is here.
I know. I was right across the street from the beach or whatever. And we talked about, I was like, we could turn this into a really cool, family-friendly vacation rental. You know what I mean? Because when you think about it, like when you roll into town and you get to your hotel or whatever, if you've got kids, if you make it family friendly and have things ready to go when they get there, you know what I mean? Like where when they roll in, it's like, they've got juice and snacks and this and that, just things like that. And so it was kind of like we sat there and talked about it. I was like, I wonder how much they would sell it for. And you were like,
and it's like,
not like we were seriously thinking about it, but I was like, how much do you think they'd charge? You're like, millions.
Like it's something if you won the lottery. Like
right.
when you are on the strip in Galveston, you have the Hyatt, you have all the, the Marriott, you have all that. This one was like Mandy said, it had its own personality because it was like a huge cinder block hotel. Like it could withstand a hurricane. It was very.
It had the sealed concrete, so no fancy carpet, anything.
Not expensive, but not cheaply made.
Right.
And they're just rooms, and there's
and
probably
character.
Yeah, probably 100 rooms.
And I mean, the sole
purpose of it. The whole purpose of living in a hotel like that or having a hotel like that is all you're doing is sleeping in it.
Yeah.
You're not.
That was what I was thinking. It's like, the main thing that people, when they walk in, they want it to be clean. They want to have stuff available. They want to, and then Sean always laughs. He's like, then they send the dad out to be the pack mule and go get all of the shit. He's been driving for 2 days and they're like, da-da-da-da, and he goes, get the stuff. And he's like, then they want breakfast. And he's like, where can I get breakfast? And you say there's on Topsail, you're like, there's only one store.
So when you live in a condo like that, it's during tourist season, every Monday or Sunday night or early Monday, you hear the crowd of people that are coming for the week. And it's like, blah, 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 blah. There's little kids and, and then, so you see them go stomping by, because it was like the whole outside of my condo was built like a dock. It was just wood planking everywhere.
Hey,
and they'd go running to the beach, and about 4 minutes later, there'd be some dude carrying all the shit out to the beach.
My brother-in-law was that one. That was what made me laugh. I was like, that's my brother-in-law.
And then at the end of the day,
and
they go running back in, and 3 minutes later, he's hauling all the shit off.
And
the
they're
beach.
you're like, where are you from? Wisconsin. Oh, so it took you a couple days to get here?
Nope.
No,
I left at like noon on Sunday.
And you're like,
and I
gotta be back to work on.
So I gotta be at work next Monday. So Friday or Saturday, it's like, well, we're heading back to Wisconsin. Oh, couple days off, I'll fucking be there in the morning. So they'd be leaving at like 8 in the morning on Sunday
and
or
then
whatever.
you always get more stuff when you're leaving. So while you're there, you've bought a beach chair, you've bought some shit like that when you got there.
You leave half of
So
it.
you're leaving and you're like, that's not going to fit. Well, what are we going to do with it? Just leave it there. Someone else will take it. And then the next person comes and goes, okay. But it's not the next person. Usually it's the people that live around there.
Yeah,
they're
someone
like,
will come and take it. And
Because the beach, the tourists don't know.
Well, the cleaning crew will come up and clean the condo out real good, and they don't leave the stuff outside. They'll move it like near the dumpster, or they'll just put it out front. And then the next crew shows up and does the whole thing. It's week after week after week of the same shit.
So when he described it, I was like, or when he was like, when they drive and he's like, oh, where are you from? Oh,
hey, Colleen.
I'm from San Diego in California or wherever. What Long Beach, say that. From Long Beach. Don't you have an ocean
Don't you have a beach on the West Coast? It's like, well,
we wanted to see this beach.
Or they're from, say, Phoenix. And I said, I'll be like, why didn't you just go to the West Coast? It's got to be, 900 miles to the West Coast or, 1,800 to go to the East Coast.
Because the wife wanted to see this beach.
We got a really good deal on Expedia for this place, and I'm like, oh.
And then they drive their Suburban. So, they're paying an astronomical amount in gas. But when he says, like, that's always my brother-in-law. Not so much, his kids are grown now. Yeah. But back in the day, exhausted, driving through.
Having to take
Aaron.
What's the stuff that the caffeine pills, Uptime or whatever? What was the caffeine pills that everybody would take? Trying to stay awake to study or whatever. No dose and Vibrant. And so there would be like some 55-year-old dude taking like 4 no dose and it would completely fuck his stomach up as he's driving, but he had to get the whole crew back. And everyone's sleeping.
And they're pissed off and sunburned and tired and it's like he needs to go to the bathroom. We stopped.
We just stopped 5 minutes ago.
Well, what are we gonna do? He's got to go to the bathroom.
And the mother
and the
is
kids
just as agitated.
They're kicking the back of the seat, and he's like, "I wonder if I could find a bar."
You're on vacation. Everyone piles into the car, and they go and they drive, and you're at your wit's end when you get there. So you spend,
but you can't show it.
4 or 5 days on vacation, then you undo 80% of the vacation on the ride back.
And it's like you get there and the dad's tired and the mother's, are you in a bad mood? No,
dear, no.
You seem like you're in a bad mood.
The one thing about North Carolina is also like on Sunday they don't sell beer on Sundays. So,
oh my God!
So somebody would come in, like when I was working at that
job,
not at all, and they would come in, and part of it was they were so exasperated they just want a fucking beer. That's all they want, and they'd come in and they like, oh yeah,
and he gets up there and
they'd come up and they'd be like, I'm like, it's Sunday. And
it's afternoon.
North Carolina, you don't sell beer on Sunday. And well, God damn it, why can't they be like Texas or Colorado? Blah, blah, blah. Dude, I'm just saying.
I don't even think in Texas you have to wait till noon on Sunday anymore. It was so weird. I was like, because noon is but I tell you what, when you're a heavy drinker or an alcoholic, you know how to make sure you have that shit before it hits Sunday before noon.
Is it here or North Carolina? I can't remember.
Here it's until noon.
Until noon. So North Carolina, I think it was not at all. The other thing that would happen is like
very hot.
Guys would do like fishing charters, right?
Right.
And so they would come in and you quit selling beer at, is it midnight? I can't remember, but there was restrictions.
Hey, stitching.
You can't sell beer in the middle of the night. Like there was like
it's midnight.
Yeah, but even like during the weekdays, like 2 o'clock, the bars would all close at 2. And people would try to run in and buy beer from us. Yeah, it was 2 o'clock. So there was these like 4 or 5 hours from like 2 a.m. till like 7 or 8 where you couldn't buy beer. And these guys would come in at like 4:30 because they got to hit the charter boat at like 6.
Yeah.
And they don't have any beer. These private charters don't mind if you
and
take
there's
beer.
nothing you can do about it.
There's nothing I could do about it.
Good stitching. It was a good one, stitching. Good. That was some of the things we laughed about when we first got together, because when we left, we had come here to visit, and when we went to North Carolina to dip in and get his stuff out of the storage unit, pay an attorney, talk to the attorney, and then head out, he told me these stories because he showed me the condo. He showed me Michelangelo's. What was it called? Michelangelo's, that pizza place? The infamous pizza place. We ate there.
Yeah, we ate there. But when I showed you the front of the condo, could you see us there at a condo like that?
Yeah.
But not right now. I mean, we have Mandy can take. I could say we're living in this cave out back. Mandy would look at it and she'd figure out how to decorate it and how to make it look like the home of your dreams. You guys have seen us the tours when we've walked you around this place.
Glamping in a cave. Glamping in a cave.
Glamping in a cave until it's 110 degrees and all the
Very
wildlife
Hot says, no, Angel Eye says, I stopped to tell Sean to be thankful every day who was sitting beside him. That other bozo with the orange hair is a sideshow all of her own.
Yeah, you're right.
You're right. He hired a good attorney and the judge paroled him from a lifetime.
Mm-hmm. I remember when we he kind of knew who
Karen.
she was because she was always in court, right? So all the attorneys knew who she was. And I'm talking to him about divorce and all that, and I'm retaining him. I'm at his office. I said, I'm not trying to sound facetious at all. Do you know my ex? And he was like, oh, yeah.
Because you had to write the name, but he didn't have to look down. He went,
Made a couple phone calls, probably to her attorney, that when her attorney, told her that she's not going to represent him anymore because she's out slandering him to my attorney. And Mandy said, this is going to...
Well, publicly. She did it publicly. That's why Brian fired him.
Yep. But our attorney was like, Mandy was like, I mean, she's going to be a real piece of work. How bad are you going to go in on her? And he just looked right at Mandy and said, depends on how bad she pisses me off.
That was outside the courtroom.
Yep.
Yeah, he did. He certainly... Thank you, Karen. Yeah, it was interesting. But it was funny because at the law office, you have your first consultation. I mean, we were ready. We were ready to hire, pay, the whole thing. But when we had our first consultation and they were calling him into, a little conference room. And I remember I asked the secretary, I was like, should I go or not go? Because, I'm like, it doesn't matter how it ended. He was married. And I was like, I didn't want to mess up legally.
Right.
She was like, in the state of North Carolina, a speeding ticket is more punishable than adultery. And I was like, for real? You know what I mean? I was like, oh my goodness.
I'm just answering your question, Angel Eyes. No, I don't think she's in Texas.
It's just to fuck with me.
I don't. But also one of the things was when everybody was like, well, he's still married to me and, it's adultery. And we asked, he says, so what if we're asked if we're sleeping together?
Because I was like, what if they say, are you... Because I was named, she filed one against me too. And I said, what if they say, are you romantically involved? He goes, well, of course you tell the truth. I was like, okay.
Oh. He said it's a misdemeanor, a slot down from a speeding ticket or something like that.
Something like that. And I was like, okay. The attorneys in Texas are a little bit different. When I was asking about it long ago, not anything to do with our situation, but when I was looking at divorcing before, and they basically said, because you think this is funny, I was like, the way the law sees it, he could basically be on the courthouse steps, full on doing someone other than his wife, and there's nothing legally that really gets done about it. It all comes down to when you're battling it out for money.
Right.
They start throwing that in there. No one really gets in trouble
like damages and personal,
Right, exactly. So
I think that a lot of people, veterans, because adultery is against the law in the military. However, they only use the adultery charge as a plea bargain for something else. Like you really can't get anybody for adultery unless there's like some kind of assault that goes on. And even if it's like, well, I didn't assault this person, it was a consensual, and they said, but you're married. That's where the military uses it as a charge to actually get people like UCMJ, Uniform Code of Military Justice. It is against the law, but that's the only time I've ever seen it adjudicated is because somebody assaulted somebody else.
Okay.
It was one of those like, or they...
Even if a child is born of it, they don't care.
No. And so I've seen it there, so I think a lot of veterans take it with them that they're going to get in trouble in the civilian world, and it's just not true. See, in North Carolina, you cannot file for divorce until a year and a day after the separation date. That was the big argument that she was having, is that she was arguing this date of separation, and our attorney just wrecked that for her. He just wrecked her. He proved it.
It turned into the date of separation became Dr. Phil.
Yep.
Come here.
Yep.
He's like, Mom, look at him.
What's he doing?
No, he's good. He's looking up at me like he wants some action. Thank you, Karen. When I started dating my husband before my divorce was final, he sued my now husband for alienation of affection. I shit you not. I thrown.
Did it work, though?
No, Telfer told Trisha to do that.
Yeah.
She told her to do that. It was a no-go.
Yeah, see,
she couldn't figure out how to do it, but I've seen the screenshots of she was like, this is what you need to get him for.
Remember when we came out of court? We came out of court after my divorce was, I think it wasn't granted, but when she took us to court so we've been in court, AK. We've been to court. And the reason why Mandy and me together, we need an attorney is because of the Beast roped her in as you got to put that together like that we're partners, romantic partners. And that is also why my attorney took her pro bono, because it was basically the same case.
Yeah.
And when we left court, Mandy, what did you do? Text Sam or did you tweet it?
When we got on the plane, I sent her and I said, you really did that girl an injustice. She literally showed up there with nothing but two spiral pages, didn't know what she was talking about. I was like, you really took advantage of her.
You hung her out to dry. Sam immediately fired up a live stream because Sam was in Trisha's ear about how to act. She promised
that she was going to come through for her, that she was going to give her what she needed, and then she didn't.
Yep.
So
just like she's probably doing the same thing for that group over there.
Those were the screenshots that I had that were there for everyone in God to see, that she goes, we got this. I'm going to prepare you. I am. And she didn't. Yep. But
so Sam has had a long, so for this was 4 years ago, right? When she did that, because it was about a year after we got together. She's been sliding into people's ears and saying, I got this. Like, I know people.
She looks for anyone I ever have a falling out with. She looks for anybody I ever have a falling out with and tries to I'm like, it's so weird. Like, not even like real life people, like on YouTube.
One of the things she does is she tries to convince people that she's got people, that she's got influence, that it was interesting what we found on that one documentary. We won't talk about that here. We'll let somebody else do it. But that she has like her family members who are in in the legal field would give her a squirt of piss. They won't.
She says she's got a lot of connections in Florida, not just legally, but just connections.
She has no connections. She has none, and that's one of the things she does. Then she goes in with talking about legal stuff, and I don't know. What the
hell does it matter if she's got connections in Florida? Nobody lives there.
She's lost everything she's ever done except for when she lied on Arabia. That was it. That's the only thing that she's ever got. She's lost everything else.
Yep. That's what Melissa said. Does she have so much influence? Why does she lose literally all the time?
All the time. And it's weird because she'll get in there and she'll start talking shit. And over the last 4 or 5 years, every single time she's been in court, she's been run. Mm-hmm. Even when Pirate ran her, Pirate couldn't get a charge to stick, but they made her life crazy, and that's what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
But it's amazing to me. It really is. But
it's fascinating. There's a lot of people that are just fascinated by how her watching me, us, whatever, never wavers at all. Mm-hmm. And she never backs off for a little bit. Even if her viewers are saying we don't give a shit about it. She was over on AK's yesterday with Alex, and she's talking about me. I thought you were trying to help her raise money for this thing with Hussey, but you still took the opportunity to talk about me.
And it's noticeable. Everybody sees it.
But if you haven't seen my wedding video, please go look it up. It's on this channel, and we've got...
It is. And it's our wedding channel.
You can blow it up, you can shrink it, you can do whatever that you want to do, because it's not going anywhere. It's not... The only person it was life-changing was for us. It shouldn't be life-changing for you, Sam. Your wedding and your wife should be life-changing for you.
So, hot Discord rejects. If you want any more advice about how to grow your channel, you can come ask me. I'll give you some advice. I'll do you that solid. I wouldn't have, but I already did a little research on you. You can go to Tomahawk Sean. You can go to Mrs. ATX. You can go to ATX Tomahawk. Just go to our channel and just hit most popular. And
Right,
You can
Missy?
see that we've had success here. And we'll try to help you. We'll try to help you get there, but you're riding with the wrong people right now. You really, really are.
You can ask any host of other people that sided with her how
Mm-hmm.
that went down. Missy says this is a good way to end it. Missy said the beast can't get over the fact that her man got taken by another woman, a real woman. And with that, we will catch you guys later.
And see, we're ending 80-minute live stream.
Yeah. And
Alex,
we love
AK,
you guys.
these 5-hour live streams that you're doing,
Thank you,
cut them a little
Karen.
short. Cut them shorter. Even do 2, because if you do one for an hour and then you do another one for an hour, and you get 400 views for each one, there's 800 views for you.
And the pearls that were
Mm-hmm.
on in my wedding and the pearls that were in the pictures, Karen gave me those before we got married. Very cool. Y'all have a thank you, Dee. Thank you, everybody. Y'all have a good day.
Yeah, thank you for the donations. Dee, we saw yours. The other couple one, we'll figure out if they want to be shouted out after that. But we really appreciate it.
We really
we
do.
never take it for granted.
Yeah.
And
Sean says really come through for him because we just really enjoy being
Tragic.
chicken farmers.
and tragic, run, dude. Run.
Yeah, take care of you.
Run.
You need to take care
Take care of
of yourself. Take
yourself,
care of
man.
yourself. Don't let these
Take care of
women tell
yourself.
you